game number 2. By the way, thanks to Intertops as well, a sponsor here on Sportsbet 2.0. The early game from Los Angeles, Thursday, A&M against Michigan. Michigan is 2.5, 136 the total. Michigan's tournament offense from 2010 to 2017, 18 straight games of more than 1.0 points per possession. This year, less than that, 0.92 against Montana. They couldn't score to start the game. They had that long stretch. And then 0.98. They survive against Houston. Had no business winning that game. Cause for concern, 13 of 46 on three-point shots. They get the Poole miracle, which might have been the toughest look of them all. And Beeline actually caught referring to Montana and Houston games as losses. Quote, "We're doing some things that I don't know, and we've got to address them and try to get better at them. I think we made some of the mistakes. We've only lost 7 games, but those 7 losses, I felt like we did some things that just don't make sense, and they're not characteristic." I mean, that's what Beeline's saying, and Wagner, he doesn't know what's going on either. What is going on? We thought early on against Montana it was because of that layoff with the Big Ten tournament a week early in New York, but then it carried over against Houston, and the officials got involved. They get the miracle win, the missed free throws. They had no business winning that game.
Sure, but as we talk about the NCAA tournament, we want to look backwards. Of course, what happened? How does that project forward to the next game? But we don't want to be too focused on, hey, they stunk last weekend, therefore they're going to stink this weekend. I'm not sure that's the case for the Michigan Wolverines. Look at the quote from Wagner. I know we don't have this graphic up. I just want to read it. I don't know if it has something to do with Wichita, but I'm ready to go back to Ann Arbor and make a check mark behind this weekend because that wasn't our best basketball. Hopefully we got the rust off a little bit. It'll get better this week. I'm very grateful that we get another chance because that's the truth of it. The Wolverines lucky to survive in advance. That being said, they're a better team than one we just saw last weekend. I don't know if that's the case for Texas A&M, though. I mean, A&M, they certainly bring an NBA size challenge. I mean, this is, number 6 in the country at effective height. If weight was included, they might be number 1. You look at their bigs in Davis and Williams. These are 2 big guys, and they are tough to bang with in the paint.
Well, you have Davis and Williams, right? 6'10", 266, and Williams both at 6'10" and 240. Remember, A&M was a top 10 team earlier in the season. Then they had injuries, suspensions, guys were out. Well, look at this. This is what you like, Teddy. You got one team who people are kind of down on with Michigan, right? Lucky to be here. Look at A&M. They're off their A game. They just destroyed Carolina in Carolina. Remember, North Carolina was 34-1 all time straight up in games played in that state. And they ran them out. It was the worst loss in tournament history for Carolina when they were the better seed. Game was over 10 minutes in, Teddy.
It really was. The quote from Tyler Davis, one of the Texas A&M bigs. "We know we have the advantage on the inside against most teams, so we just do what we do every day. Just go to war on the inside and eat glass." The quote from Roy Williams I thought was very, very key. Williams, of course, the Tar Heels head coach, the coach of the team, the defending national champs who just got annihilated by an A&M in the game you were referencing, Pauly. Quote, "We've beaten people up over the years, and the tables were reversed. I'd say probably this is the only game where somebody just dramatically handled us inside, or maybe at a higher level. What they did to us inside early in the game shocked us, even though we knew that they were good. Last weekend, A&M was a lot better than Michigan. And of course, it's an A&M team that's battled through injuries. You talked about the point guard, TJ Starks, the Frosh. You look at his full season numbers. You look at his numbers here in the tournament. He's been really good. That being said, Bayline with extra time to repair against a Frosh point guard, I'm not so sure that's a matchup that works in Texas A&M's favor. Like the show? Help us keep the lights on. Please make sure to comment, share, and subscribe to all the Sportsbook Review videos. Thanks so much. Best of luck. Enjoy the games.